everybody. Hello. So, welcome to our very first PPM Talk, which is a webinar that will focus on topics related to animal welfare and responsible ownership of companion animals. So, can you guys hear me?
Yes, although choppy sa akin.
Copy. Okay. I, I think ako anang internet.
Murag ato jud.
Okay, wait lang. I need try og sulod at siyang i-admit. Nay murag background nga noise lagi nga akong madungog.
Murag bitaw naiga-feedback.
Murag ako ang voice kaya ako siyang ma-hear again.
I guess we need to unmute everyone except for the host.
So mute all. Yes, I will mute everyone. Hello. So is that better?
Yes, okay na.
Okay. So again, hello everyone and welcome to Paw Pantry Mission's first ever #PPM Talk. And PPM Talk will be a webinar series that will focus on topics related to animal welfare and responsible ownership of our companion animals. So before anything else, guys, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Karen, and I am also a co-founder of Paw Pantry Mission. So thank you kaayo to everyone for, pagahin sa time nga mako-join sa ato tonight. And this would be our very first webinar, our very first episode of our webinar series that we have prepared for this year. So please kanang stay tuned for like the next few ones that we will have, and hopefully maka-join gihapon mo on the next ones that we will have, and you invite more friends to join as well. So I'm pretty sure nga not everyone nga naa dinhi karon on sa ato ang webinar is familiar what Paw Pantry Mission is. So I will give you a brief background about what Paw Pantry Mission is. So Paw Pantry Mission is a Cebu-based animal welfare organization that was founded in 2019, and we support stray community feeding, community stray feeding, and kanang fixing, which is spaying and neutering of our stray animals. So mao na siya ang mga ginapush nga mga projects. Mao na siya ang mga ginapush nga mga projects. Okay. So we will have an open forum. We have two speakers for tonight, and after mag-present sa two speakers, you may ask questions during our open forum. All right. So save your questions till the end, guys. Okay. So so without further ado, guys, we will now introduce our very first speaker of the night. So our first speaker is someone who goes behind the name Little Miss Adventure on Instagram and on Facebook. So if makita na ninyo nga page, this is the person who handles this. So her name is Cha, and she is an animal welfare advocate, rescuer, and co-founder of Paw Pantry Mission. So she is a licensed civil engineer from General Santos City and a full-time fur mommy to 14 cats and 3 dogs. So before she transferred to Iloilo City, she used to live in Cebu, and her place actually became a temporary home to over 100 foster animals. So can you imagine, guys, 100 kabuok na animals ang na-foster ni Cha? So even with the limited space she had sa iyahang apartment, she was able to provide post-op care to over 80 community animals as part of TNVR, or Trap, Neuter, Vaccinate, Return program that many of our rescuers and animal organizations here in Cebu partake in. So without further ado, let us have Cha take away the screen.
Hello, can you see my screen na po? Can everyone hear me loud and clear? Yes.
Yes, Cha.
Okay.
Yes, loud and clear.
Ayan, so good evening everyone. Ako di si Cha. Welcome sa among very first ever Paw Pantry Mission webinar. So you're probably here because either naamoy upcoming appointments or a scheduled spay and neuter, or second, probably naamoy a plan to spay or neuter your pets soon, or curious lang about spay and neuter. So whatever the reason is, thank you so much for bringing yourselves diri sa atong session this night. By the way, ako din si Cha Esper, one of the co-founders of Paw Pantry Vision. So before we start, let's set first your expectations for this evening. Yan. Okay, so ito yung ating agenda. First, we will be talking about the basics of spay and neuter. Ano ba si spay and neuter? How it can benefit you and your pets. And also, we will be covering some of the misconceptions of the pet owners about the procedure. And most especially, yung ating main topic is pre and post-op care after the procedure and before the procedure na kailangan natin malaman as pet owners. Okay? Ayan. So we have this question. Ayan. What is the number of roaming stray cats and dogs in the Philippines? So this one is a survey conducted by Philippines Animal Welfare Society last 2019 po. And the answer to this question is okay. So 12 million stray cats and dogs roaming around the streets in the Philippines. So as ayan advocate, we consider this one as a problem because yung mga dogs natin or yung mga stray cats and dogs, they can go without food and shelter, roaming around the streets in the Philippines, and if not rescued, they are going to continue to do that their entire lives. So ano ba yung mga complications with this problem? So the first one is we have increased vehicular accidents, so it caused ng traffic problems. Then second, they are very prone sa animal cruelty, yung mga animals na yon. Then third also, yung mga, di ba, we always see lots of reports of animals that need rescue. So yung mga animal shelters, city pounds, they are really overwhelmed when it comes to like containing all of them. So as a result of that, lots of like hundreds of thousands of animals are being euthanized worldwide annually. So this is really a problem that we are all facing in this community. So yung problems na to, we can address this, of course, without problem, walang solution. So yung solution that we are seeing that is considered to be the most humane way to solve the problem is fixing. Okay? Fixing the animals. And as pet owners, of course, maybe you will ask na, how can you contribute to this one? So you can contribute to this a solution to the problem by starting at your very own home with your very own pets. And that leads us to the solution. Ang solution ay kapon, hindi tapon. Okay? So we always encounter cases, di ba? People, even people with own pets, they are throwing, like for example, their own pets get impregnated, and they don't want to keep more pets. So ang tendency is they are going to throw the litters or they give away those litters. So what happens if walang monitoring? Ang mangyayari, those litters, if they survive, just in case na mag-survive sila, they continue to reproduce. So even if we are not directly in contact with the stray animals, but we are contributing kasi if we are not fixing our pets. So instead of letting them like reproduce, ayan, or throwing them, why not fix them? So we are going to go back to the main root of the problem, our own. Okay, let's start with our own house, our own home. So what you see right now on the screen is the mobile clinic of Cebu City Animal Birth Control. Ayan, this is a way of our LGU to escalate the need for spay and neuter program. So salamat sa LGU natin for having this type of programs and services to our pet owners and even to the people in the animal community. Okay? So balik tayo with the basic, what is spay and neuter. So just in case na hindi niyo po alam what spay and neuter is, spaying involves removal of the uterus and ovaries ng female animals. And neuter naman is the term for removing the testicles of male animal. So this procedure ensures na yung animals or pets natin, they won't reproduce anymore after. And also, this is reducing yung pet overpopulation na na-mention ko earlier. So this surgery is performed alone by licensed veterinarian. And how does it benefit us and our pets? Okay. The very first one, it prevents pet overpopulation. So as pet owners, this is our own way to contribute to the solution. So the best thing to do is to ensure that our pets are going to be fixed, and we encourage other people to do the same. And second, health benefits naman to our pets. Ayan. May breast cancer, risk of breast cancer, UTIs, ayan, pyometras for females, and or also testicular cancers for male. So may iwasan natin yon, reduce risk of having those for our pets. And lastly, kapag na-neuter or na-fix na yung pets natin, cats or dogs, ayan, they are less likely na maging aggressive. So yung mga tendencies, aggressive tendencies malalesen or mare-reduce, especially yung mga territory markings, ayan, spraying ng urines all around the house, ma-eliminate po yung mga behavior na yon. So these are some of the benefits. As overall, yung benefit ng spay and neuter, it is going to make your life more comfortable and more harmonious as a family with your pets. Ayan. Now, let's talk about some of the common misconceptions about spay and neuter. Hello, Madam Lily. Madam Lily here. This is the cat of one of the co-founders of Paw Pantry Mission, si July. So, ayan, galit na si Madam. So, Madam Lily said that it's a misconception that your pet should come in heat first before she can be spayed. And by the way pala, if you have any questions during the presentation, you can send them via chat box. And then later on, we have our vet naman dito, si Doc Jess, to answer those questions. So, mas maganda, it's much better if the answers are coming from the licensed vet for credibility. Okay? Kasi hindi pa ako vet. Ayan. So the very first misconception, our pet should come in heat first before she can be spayed. Actually, it's better for our pets to be spayed before yung first heat cycle because it will reduce yung incidence ng mammary tumors. Okay? So misconception po yun na antayin natin yung first heat cycle before spaying. And second, my pet will get fat and lazy. So many pet owners want their pets to be fixed because of the goal na gusto nilang patabain yung pets nila. Actually, it's a misconception because um, during the procedure kasi they are removing yung tawag niyan, uterus and testicles ng animals. So yung na-eliminate would be the testosterone and the estrogen hormones, the sexual hormones of our animals. And as a result for that, the animals will have slower metabolism. So when we talk about metabolism, it's the process kasi of changing yung food intake natin into energy. Okay? If the pet owners don't know about it, the tendency is your pets will get fat if they continue to give the same amount of food. So if you don't want that to happen, you have to reduce the amount of food accordingly. So that is attributed to the slower metabolism rate ng pets natin. And also, it's recommended that we spay or neuter our pets as early as possible at a young age kasi during that age, yung mga pets natin are very active. And even after the surgery, they continue to become active. Ayan. Kasi we also need yung efficiency, di ba? We have to convert yung food into energy para ma-utilize, hindi tataba. And third, okay, my dog will not guard my home anymore after having the surgery. This is a misconception. Okay, kasi dogs will continue to guard our houses, our properties. So yung behaviors lang na maapektuhan na mag-change would be those behaviors that are affected by sexual hormones. Okay? So recommended pa rin that we fix our pets, spay and neuter our pets to address those aggressive tendencies. However, ayan, may emphasis. However, hindi po totally ma-eliminate yung aggressive tendencies ng dogs if ever talagang aggressive. It's because um, aggressive tendencies are not only brought about by the sexual hormones. There are also other factors na kailangan i-consider. So what are those factors? It could be the environment of the dog. Perhaps the people around the dog are triggering the dog to have aggressive tendencies. Second is ito most common reason, lack of training of the dog. So if you want to really eliminate the aggression of your dogs or your cats, then you have to address those factors as well. All right? Fourth, ayan. I want my pet to have babies muna before ko spay or in-neuter. So as mentioned earlier sa slides natin, we have this pet population explosion today. And if we are going to like educate ourselves, animal shelters all around the world, ayan, they are like very stressful because they have to euthanize some, not, I don't know if most, but they have to euthanize animals because there are not enough homes. And based on experience, it's really hard for us to find adopters, find good homes, because it takes time to look for homes that can really provide for the pets, for the rescued animals. So that alone is really a problem. That's why a lot of animals are really being euthanized. So if you really want to contribute to the solution, start with your own home, fix your pets po. Okay? Then lastly, ayan, surgery is too painful for my pet. I don't want to spay them because of this. Okay, just like humans, even if humans, yan, we are undergoing surgery, we are always under general anesthesia. So the same lang with our animals or our pets. The sterilization is also the term for fixing. So the procedure also includes pets undergoing general anesthesia. So basically, the whole process, they won't feel anything. Although after the procedure, they will feel discomfort or pain. That's also the reason why they refuse to eat afterwards. So it's totally okay, tolerable naman siya. So if you think na talagang in pain yung pets natin, you can ask naman your vet to um give them pain medications after the procedure. So it's ayan, negotiable. But mostly, usually talaga when like for us doing TNVRs, we don't usually give pain medications because it's tolerable yung pain. Okay? So may this be not the reason for you to spay your pet because of pain beneficial to our audience. Right? Ayan, I think lahat na nakasagot. Okay. So majority of the people here don't know yet the pre and the post-op surgical care. So this is their first time to have their pets neutered. So thank you so much for participating to our poll questions. So that leads us to our next slide, which is the pre-surgical instructions. All right? Okay. So let's have this one general checklist muna before you decide to spay or neuter your pets. The very first thing you have to consider is the optimal age of your pet. So pet must be at least 4 months old and should weigh at least 1 kilogram. So yung average age for our pets for the sterilization is usually 5 months to 9 months. But meron mga vets na they sterilize pets as early as 8 weeks, and the surgery or the procedure has no adverse effects. So depende po yan. You may want to ask your vet, consult your vet when is the optimal age for your pet. And also, um, the reason why that they fix pets at young age because yung mga puppies and kittens, they can recover much quicker as compared to adults. Okay? And much as mentioned kanina, it's better to sterilize our pets before before they reach yung first heat cycle natin nila. And second category or second consideration, major consideration, you need to have pre-surgical assessment ng pets ninyo prior to the surgery. So How will you know if your pet is fit for the surgery? It can be done through blood test, CBC, tawag na CBC, complete blood count. Second is physical exam. Okay? Um, for us, doing TNVR, we don't usually do this, but we are into physical exam. So how do we know? We are going to check the temperature. Ayan. Usually kasi the pets who are active, ayan, we consider healthy and fit for the surgery. But to make sure you can check the temperature. It should be below 39.2 degrees Celsius. And yung gums nila should be healthy in pink color. Ayan, healthy pink color. The pink color in the gums shows that it's healthy. So kapag pale yung gums, siguro magdadalawang isip ka. So much better if you can conduct a CBC sa private clinic. Now, if you really want to be sure as pet owner, especially kapag yung cats ninyo are like old na or adults na, some vets or most vets, especially in the private clinics, they really recommend having CBC, although it's not mandatory, no? So just to make sure lang, ayan, you have your pet undergo a CBC test. So that is prior to the surgery. So make sure lang na you call the clinic to have the appointment kasi nga pandemic right now. So make sure that the clinic is having those complete blood count test para hindi masayang yung pagpunta niyo sa clinic. Okay? Third, recovery time and post-op care. So before the procedure, you have to prepare many things ahead of time, not during the surgery, not after the surgery, but before the surgery. So that will be discussed in the next slide. So before the surgery, of course, number one, you need to have confirmed appointment. So ito makikita niyo po sa screen right now. You will see the list of clinics or vet offices conducting spay and neuter services. So we do have from the local government units, the veterinary offices. Meron din pong private clinics. We also have other organizations that are partnering with LGUs and private vets. Ayan, Cats and Dogs Matter in Cebu City, Foster Family Casco in Mandaue, and Stray Paws Got Fixed in Talisay. So yung fees naman, fees for the surgery, they vary from one area to another. But ito nakikita ninyo right now on the screen, ito sila, our LGU and the other organizations, they are offering low-cost spay and neuter services. So you have to check with them about the fees. So yung surgery fee naman, it's a one-time fee. Ayan, hindi siya annually. One time lang po. And mostly nakadepende sa size ng animal. Okay. So after you have this confirmed appointment, now you should be preparing these things. So recovery crate. Okay, recovery crate. After the procedure, you have to contain your animal here. Leash and carrier para during the surgery day. Ayan, especially kapag dogs. So you have to keep them in leash. And carrier because if you are using public transpo, a lot of like taxis, they don't allow pet owners to bring their pets without the carrier. So you need to have this. Okay, transportation, much better if you have your own transpo, but if not, kapag public transpo, you have to prepare it ahead para sakto yung like if you have the confirmed appointment, hindi po kayo malilate. Alright? Now, e-collar will be used after the surgery to keep your pets from leaking the incision site. So it's very important to keep the incision site dry. Blankets can be used before and after the surgery. So later on, you will see how these blankets will be used. And tissues, wipes, and poop bags. So during the surgery day, just in case lang na magkalat yung dogs natin doon sa surgery, I mean sa clinic or sa kung saan kayo magpapaspay. Okay, so ito yung mga things na need natin i-prepare ahead of time. Now, before the procedure, night before the procedure, you have to give food around 8 p.m. and do not give any food right after 9 p.m. So, pwede pa kayong mag-leave ng water overnight, but make sure lang that the first thing that you do in the morning, you remove the water. Kasi if our pets consumed food and water, the tendency would be yung anesthesia magkakaroon ng side effects. So magvo-vomit yung mga pets natin. So wala din pong use yung food na nakain nila. So for cats naman, if you are bringing your cats, kailangan naka-keep na po sila overnight inside the crate, and make sure that yung crate has the clean litter tray. Okay? And set up ahead the recovery area before you leave the house during the surgery day. So morning before the procedure, ayan, again, do not give any food again. And if it's a dog, yung pet natin, much better if naka-poop sila before you leave the house. Okay? Then on arrival po dun sa area, you just present your scheduled appointment. Then you submit the requirements if meron. Then advise if you want to have other treatments like deworming, ayan. The CCACC, they are also providing these services, deworming, rabies vaccination, ear notch, ito yung nakikita niyo po sa screen right now. Meron ding nail clipping and microchipping. So you have to consult with them if you want to give these services to your pet. Okay? And also, I think this is already a part of the registration fee na babayaran ninyo sa CCACC po. Cebu City Pound. Okay, so pictures, top left pic natin. Ito po yung this is a picture in our Cebu City home. So recovery area prepared ahead of time. Meron pong clean litter box, meron din pong food bowls for the food and water, and the blanket to cover. Ayan, para maging less stressful for the pets. Then bottom left pic, this is the cat inside the carrier during the transport to the surgery vet clinic or surgery area. So, pwede po kayong maglagay ng pee pad or blanket inside. O kung walang pee pad, pwedeng blankets, ayan, para merong something to absorb just in case na mag-pee or mag-poop yung cats natin while traveling. Then on the top right, ayan, day of the surgery, you will see the pets inside the crate covered with blankets, but just make sure that the blankets don't totally cover the crate to the point na it's blocking airflow. Okay? Just make sure na may airflow pa rin. Don't cover entirely. Then the bottom right, after the surgery, make sure the recovery area is enough or adequate for your pet na maka-roam around pa rin. Ayan. And you can add also bowl of food and water. And you will see po that the cat is using e-collar for the protection of the incision site. And the same is true with the dogs. Ganito rin po yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? Now, what to expect after the procedure? So, if first time tayong magpapaspay, so no, it's completely normal po if your pet is groggy or vomiting or after eating, drinking, or they are shaking. So, hindi alam ng pets natin na they underwent surgery. Okay? So, hindi nila naiintindihan yon. So, our pets may be confused or like uncomfortable because of the pain or the discomfort. But usually, after 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, mare-resolve naman yon. So, it's completely normal po because it's probably due to the side effect of the anesthesia na nagwe-wear off na siya. And second, it's also completely normal if your pet won't eat and drink within the next 24 hours. Yan, hindi po siya uncommon. So, kapag yung pet natin, they refuse to eat or drink water after the surgery, it's normal. What you're gonna do is just continue to add the bowls of food and water, ayan, para just in case if the appetite has regained, they have something to eat na. So usually, the appetite will be back after 48 hours and they will start eating already. But if they refuse to eat after this time, like 48 hours na, hindi pa rin sila kumakain, even just a little, you have to consult with the vet for assessment. Okay? Third, it's also completely normal if your pet won't poop or pee the next 24 hours. Kasi 'di ba, earlier, the night before the surgery, we already restricted them from eating. So probably wala pong madadigest na food, wala pong ma-breakdown na food sa system nila. So it's completely normal if they won't poop or pee. But again, as same po with eating and drinking, if hindi po siya ma-resolve within after 48 hours, ayan, you have to consult na po with your vet for assessment. Okay? Now, what are you I think third to the last line na po ito. So after surgery instruction, after the procedure, um number one po, what you really need to do is to limit your pet's activities and movements. The recovery time for male and female are different. So yung females kasi the recovery takes longer, like 10 to 14 days, ayan, before they are fully healed. While male naman, kasi external lang kasi yung sa male, so like siguro less than 7 days, okay na po sila. And if your pets, some of the pets naman, they remain active. Merong mga pets na they remain active even a day after the surgery. While some pets naman, they remain quiet. So, different personality. So, it's very important, regardless what personality yung meron sila, it's very important for you to limit the movements and the activities of your pet. So, you have to contain them as much as possible inside a crate that is adequately appropriate for them. Ayan, yung size is appropriate for them, especially if you cannot supervise them. 'Di ba? Like, you're working from home, hindi naman totally 24/7 you are on the lookout to your pet. So, just make sure lang that the size of the crate is adequate and you provide fresh food and water and clean litter box. And second, this is very important. A lot of pet owners they get worried because if they don't know about yung what they expect, usually nagwo-worry sila if their pets won't eat after the surgery. So ang tendency ng ibang pet owners, they change yung pet's diet, and that should be avoided. Okay? The reason why hindi nag-eat ng yung pets natin, because I already mentioned it earlier. So changing the diet might just lead into vomiting or diarrhea. So this is not the best time for you to change diet. Just continue lang to provide food, yung usual food nila, and wait for them to eat. Okay, so and third is keep the incision dry. Ayan, use e-collar for the pets to avoid leaking. And most importantly, wag niyo pong papaliguan yung pets ninyo during the recovery period. So 10 to 14 days. And also, you have to prevent your pets from licking the incision site using e-collar, okay? Because we all know naman that the bacteria in the saliva of our pets, they can cause complications to the incision site. So as much as possible, use e-collar para po walang complications. So how will we know if there are complications? You will see that may mga drainage, ayan, discoloration dun sa incision site, and may mga bumps or swelling na hindi po nare-resolve after a few days. I mean, hindi siya nare-resolve over the recovery period. Okay. So, question. What if wala po akong crate? Wala po akong cage. I don't have the cage inside. I mean, I cannot afford to buy cage. So, you can also limit the pet's activity naman. You can contain them inside a confined room or a small room. So just make sure lang na they use e-collar all the time, and that if you have other pets inside the house, you have to prevent them from entering inside the confined room. Kasi magtitis ang mga ibang pets to play with the recovering patient. So that is something that we have to avoid, yung movements and activities, excessive activities. So don't worry if your pet is using the e-collar, because even if they are using that, it won't prevent them from eating or drinking. Okay? And I think this is the last slide. All right. So spaying and neutering po as in general, they are really safe surgeries, procedures. So usually yung mga complications, they happen if we as pet owners, we fail to follow yung mga post-op na procedures or instructions. So that's why we have to watch out for the complications. We have to follow what is advised by the veterinarians. And if you notice na merong mga minimal like swelling or redness dun sa incision site, usually mareresolve siya within days. But if not, if mag-persist po siya longer, then you have to consult with your vet. And if any of the symptoms you see right now on the screen, like vomiting, diarrhea, like discharge, and so on, if these complications persist, consult with your vet for assessment of the pet. And do not self-medicate. And this, we are really advocate of this one. Do not self-medicate because it's not only dangerous for the pet, but it can cause extra cost for you. Ayan, because probably yung mga decisions natin like bad decisions giving medicine not appropriate medicine for the pets, it could like has more complications or adverse effects or adverse effects dun much worse with the previous complications. So let us trust the vets for our pets na lang and don't self medicate. And that's it. Ayan, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. So I'm giving back to Karen the screen for the introduction of our next speaker, si Doc Chess. Karen, take it away.
All right. So thank you, Kaayo Cha, for that very detailed presentation. So guys, we now know that there are things that we need to prepare for when it comes to spaying and neutering our pets. No, and hopefully to everyone who is new to what spaying and neutering is, I hope we all learned something. And for those naman who are already aware, I hope na refresh ang inyong mind, especially if taod-taod na mo, nakapa-spay or neuter o pets or community strays, no? I hope na-refresh yung mind. And now we all know that why we are doing spaying and neutering, and basically it's hoping that, we reduce the number of strays that is roaming around the streets and give relief to our animal organizations and individual rescuers, no? So again, thank you, Kaayo Cha. And if you have questions, again, we have an open forum later. Okay, so you can just send your questions there sa ato ang chat box. And all right, so we are now gonna go to our next speaker. So our next speaker is Dr. Jess Marie Bohok, and she is currently the officer in charge of the Department of Veterinary Medicine and Fisheries of the Cebu City Government. So she graduated Doctor of Veterinary Medicine from Central Mindanao University and has been with the government service for over 13 years. Wow, guys. So grabe jud kayo ang experience sa ito ang next speaker na. So Doc Jazz, take it away.
Good evening, guys. So, thank you, Karen, for the introduction. Actually, 13 years, murag tiguang na jud, no? So, okay. So, I have to share my presentation, Jules, or it's you
yes,
who will
share screen.
Okay. So, guys, makita na ninyo?
Wala pa, Doc. Ako na lang share, Doc.
Sige. Please lang, Jules. Thank you.
Okay, now can everybody see the screen? Hello? Mhm. Okay.
But unfortunately, sa kuha is na-minimize. Okay, thank you. So, go on.
Yes, Doc, go on.
Hi guys, so my name is Jessica Maribohok. So I hope you are as ready as I am to discuss the services of the Cebu City government of veterinary medicine and fisheries. So actually the Department of Veterinary Medicine and Fisheries is the counterpart of the veterinary offices and the LGU. So if you have seen or if you're familiar with the provincial veterinary office, so mo na equivalent sa to ang office. If it's in the municipality or in the city or component city or highly urbanized cities, so mo na counterpart sa Cebu City government. Okay, next. So first is the first service that we are offering in the office is the pet registration. So this service mandated by the City Ordinance number 2526, which just amended last May 16, 2019, as a way of monitoring the implementation of city's anti-rabies ordinance. So this was based on the Republic Act 9482 or the Anti-Rabies Act of 2007. So we have two types of, or you have, if you are a client, or you have a pet, so you have two options if you're going to register your pet. So we have the annual registration, which inclusive the rabies vaccination, or deworming and vitamin supplementation. But if you're choose the lifetime registration, so the only additional here is the microchipping. So the amount for this is 600. So imagine mas cheaper ang lifetime registration, since the annual registration you have to pay it annually. So if happen na imuhang dog will be reach the age of 4 years old, so if you're going to choose annual registration, so you have to pay 200 for 4 years. Whereas for the lifetime registration, this is a one in a lifetime, so you have just only to pay the 600 pesos. So this is available from Monday to Friday. So since the office is open at 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Next. Okay, for the spay and neuter, so this service seeks control dog population and offer assistance to pet owners who would like their pets to be neutered. So as discussed by Cha, so this is the human way to prevent or to control the litters or the increasing number of the population of dogs and cats, especially in the Cebu City. So before, by the time of Doc Alice, actually that was 2008 or 2009, since I started 2009. So before, she gave ultimatum to the dog catchers that they should pick up or impound dogs, 50 dogs for a week. So imagine if we're going to impound dogs without spaying, neutering. So it's the cycle. So dili dyan nato makontrol kay there's still female dogs who can still reproduce, female dogs and female cats. So imagine the female dogs will hit twice a year, while the cats 4 to 6 times in a year. So if the dog can produce 2 liters or 4 liters in birth or queening time or queening stage, so imagine kung kaduha siya mga anak, so 4 liters, so 4 times 2, that would be 8 liters. So if all female dogs is another cycle naman. So this is really the human way to control the population. So here are the rates for the spaying, neutering for the dogs and cats. So for the cat castration, it's only 100 pesos. So imagine it's really much cheaper compared to the private clinic. So for the cat spaying, it is only 150. This is actually guys, this is only for the surgery fee. And for dog castration, 200 pesos. Then for the dog spaying, it is 250. So actually, guys, aside from the surgery fee, you have to pay also the registration fee. So it's up to the owners if she willing to register the dog through annual registration or through lifetime registration. So next. So how to avail the spay neuter in the city? So first, you have to secure the online appointment through the Cebu City government website. Then just recently, we have to change the requirements. Before we are very strict, especially for the voters ID. But right now, due to the LG issue once memorandum, which is if you are going to give the service or services to the constituents, voters ID should not be considered. So instead, as of now, we will be looking for the barangay certification with 2 billing statement or barangay certification with 2 valid IDs. So the billing statement and the ID should indicate both the address. The same as stated sa mga billing statement, and the IDs should be the same in the barangay certification. So in addition, so time to time, you may call these numbers on your screen. As we are offering spaying and neutering for the dogs and cats every last Sunday of the month. So since we could not accommodate all of the online appointments, so guys, if you have female dogs or female cats, so time to time lang jud you can call this number. Next. So yes, home service. So we are offering home service, especially if you are, of course, if you are a resident of Cebu City. Kay we have basig ma-question sad me if ang sakyanan sa Cebu City maadto sa Lapu-Lapu City. So this service is applicable to Cebu City residents with more than 3 pets for rabies vaccination, deworming, and vitamin supplementation. So 3 pets, either 2 dogs, 1 cat, or all of more than, as long as it is more than 3 pets. So the same amount, you don't have to pay for the fee for the transportation. So same as the registration, you have to pay the annual registration or the lifetime registration. So this appointment should be made directly by contacting the contact numbers that was presented to you. So the staff, the DVMF staff will be asked some details. So like your name, your address, the landmark, and your contact number. So guys, if you have more than 3 pets and then you can't bring them, all of them to the office, so we can bring the service to your home actually. Okay, next. So aside from those registration, yes, we can give you the veterinary health certificate. So what is this certificate? So actually, I think Cha already availed this kind of service. So this service provides certificate as the prerequisite to travel animals outside Cebu Island. So not only the cats and dogs, actually all the animals should, whenever that you have whenever that you decided to transfer or relocate. Example, you have a pet goat or baby pig. So then you're trying to bring them with you. So yes, you can. That is possible. So as long as you can secure the veterinary health certificate. So I will just discuss the pets, which is the cats and dogs. So since mostly are here, I know are cat owners or dog owners. So as long as you have the vaccination certificate with updated rabies vaccination, and should not be less than 14 days from the day that vaccinated with rabies. So yes, you can bring your pets with you. So after 14 days or on the day of your schedule, yes, you can show us your vaccination certificate, of course, together with your pets. But as with case with Cha, since she's bringing a lot of pets with her to Iloilo, so what we did is we just do the video call. So that is the way just to lessen the stress of the pet owner. So at that time, so nag-video call lang jud min, then check na mo kung fit, but if they are fit for to be transported. So if the details of the vaccination certificate of rabies is in final, or it's okay, there's no questions, then we can give you the veterinary health certificate. But guys, you have to make sure that once you acquire the veterinary health certificate, the validity of this VHC is only 3 days. So you have to make sure that within 3 days, you should secure the shipping permit. So for the shipping permit, actually the veterinary health certificate, you can have it from any veterinarian. So it's just only that in the city, it is only cost 50 pesos per head. But I think on the private clinic, it costs around 300 to 500 pesos. So I don't know if it's per certificate or per head. So I'm not familiar with that, but I only assume that because as I heard before that it's around 300 to 500. But in the office, it's just only 50 pesos per head. So once you secure the veterinary health certificate, so you can apply for the shipping permit to the veterinary animal veterinary service. So that is in the quarantine office in the pier, between the pier 1 and pier 2. So but good thing that the application for now is through online. So the shipping permit is only last for 7 days. So once you have secured the shipping permit, you have to make sure that within 7 days dapat naka-travel na job ka. Otherwise, you will be go back again to the step 2 to acquire the veterinary health certificate, and then again apply online for the shipping permit. So we are available to issue the veterinary health certificate from Monday to Friday, then 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, go on. So of course, so the office is Monday. We have a mandate to impound stray animals because the Cebu City Veterinary Office exists to control or to eliminate animal rabies. So one way of this is, aside from the vaccination, aside from the spay and neutering, there are some requests coming from the pet owners or from the barangays, especially for those nuisance or especially for those abandoned, neglected animals, or those animals that has animals with a history of bite incidents. So actually, yes, we do impounding. So this service mandated by the City Ordinance 2526, Section number 10, to facilitate impounding of stray animals relentlessly roaming around the city of Cebu. So if it's reported as stray, if coming from the barangay, so they should provide us a letter for the impounding, or if there's an individual or concerned individual, then they can directly blatter it to the barangay, so that it's between the barangay and the office who will do the communication. So if it is an own, so before it's just only 150 the surrender fee, but after the approval of this City Ordinance number 2526, so the surrender fee now is 2,500 plus. Why plus? Because aside from the surrender fee, there would be additional charge of the pick-up fee. So pick-up fee is 500 pesos. So that would be 3,000 pesos if the owner, or if the the one who's requesting it to impound is if they decide to pick up the dog, then that would be 3,000. So dako jud no kay gusto, because we want the owner that the pound is not a garbage facility. We want them to be responsible, that once, or we want them to know that raising pets is not an easy task, or it is a responsibility actually. So aside from paying the fee, so they have to fill up the surrender form. And then they have, aside from the surrender form, there would be an affidavit of undertaking that they should be notarized from from a lawyer. So the affidavit of undertaking actually, it is stated there that once they have surrendered pets, then for the next time they are not allowed, or we will not be accepting anymore their surrender pets. Otherwise, we will issue a citation ticket. Next. So for those animals that were impounded, so if they are adoptable, yes, we will promote them for adoption. So this service allows interested parties to adopt adoptable dogs or cats which have been impounded, that have been claimed by the owner or surrendered by the owner. So the adoption fee is equivalent to the annual registration actually. Then the spay fee or the neuter fee is already free. If for those adult dogs and adult cats, actually the pets is already, we have to make sure that before they are to be released, they are already neutered, they are already fixed, they already received the rabies vaccine, and they are already updated with the deworming. So the next follow-up would be on the part of the owner would be the 5-in-1, the kennel calf vaccine, the deworming, the next follow-up deworming schedule. And actually, we have an adoption event together with the Island Rescue Organization and the Park Mall. So that would this adoption display is every fourth, second and fourth Saturday of the month. So if you are willing to adopt, it is not only the Cebu City Animal Care and Control that are promoting adoption there for their pets, also the IRO, as well as the Mandawi City Veterinary Office. So next. So what are the steps in adopting pets in the office? So first, you have to visit the center. Then second, you can meet and greet or impounded or adoptable pets. Then third, you can choose your preferred animals. Then you have to fill up the application form. The next is the staff will, or some staff or some a staff will conduct an interview. But if you're an approved applicant, then you have to pay the adoption fee. Then after that, you can bring your dog. Actually, then there's a follow up. Actually, but unfortunately, lately, maybe you can help us with the follow-up. So I think Sveta is here. So actually, she is also helping us with the conducting the follow-ups for those adopted animals before, especially those pets that was adopted in the park mall during her with her presence actually. So next. So of course, we are also offering the information education campaign. So this service raises awareness about rabies, responsible pet ownership, and legal basis related to the rabies control by the office. So before pandemic, actually every March, that is Rabies Awareness Month, nag-add to mi sa mga schools, especially for those elementary schools. So mostly ang audience are grade 5 and grade 6, grade 4, some are grade 4. So we are promoting or we are raising awareness sa mga kanina students, kay actually mostly manggod sa mga napaakan are mga ingana na age. So we have to inform, educate them regarding rabies, being a responsible pet owners, and what are those legal bases na protected aning rabies actually. So next. So aside sa mga small animals, sa pet animals, actually ang office is we are also offering livestock avian disease management, treatment, and preventions, especially to the mountain barangays, since we have lots of livestock animals. sa Cebu City Mountain Barangay. So this service conducts hemorrhagic septicemia. So dili lang di ay rabies vaccine no ang available namo. So we have a hemorrhagic septicemia. This is intended for those cloven hoof like katuganing na ay say tawagan na kanang hooves na mga til or pareha ng baka, kanding, kabaw. So we are offering this kind of vaccine. So for the Newcastle's disease, that is intended for the avian. So avian like manok, pabo, kalapate, pato, so game fowls. And this Newcastle's disease actually is, this is one of the prerequisite para makatravel actually ang imuhang bird or ang imuhang manok dito sa laing lugar. So we can give it for free sa office. And this Newcastle's disease vaccine is, the duration for this is, or this can protect your avian or your bird for 3 months. So if maka-decide kag travel, so 1 month or 2 months ahead, pwede na ka magpabakuna. Since this is on the validity, the protection of this for your birds is for 3 months. And then we are also offering deworming sa ilaha and vitamin supplementation. Next. So for this is actually we are also conduct surveillance sa mga animals, not only for the dogs and cats. So we have twice a year blood collection and cloacal swabbing for the birds for avian influenza. So all of these samples will be submitted to the Department of Agriculture, Regional Animal Disease Diagnostic Laboratory. And then for the equine, like sa katong mga tartanilla, yes, we are collecting bloods for them. They are positive with equine infectious anemia. And for the baboy, baka, kabaw, so we are collecting blood as well as the kanding and the sheep for the foot and mouth disease. Then for the baboy is hog cholera. Then recently, na additional because of the case of African swine fever, though it is not yet present here in Region 7, but we are very intensive in protecting the area, the Cebu City borders. And just recently, it is already mandatory that contagious bovine pleuropneumonia should be considered as well. And for the rabies, of course, the cats and dogs. So for you, for FYI, actually for the rabies, sa dogs and cats, we will submit the head sample. So, kwaon, putlon ang ulo. Then there are some procedures na unsaon pagbutang for the safety sa ato ang magputol. Then we will submit it to the RADDL for the confirmatory. So, kung makadungugay mo, ay, nana siya rabies. So, akong iro, nakapaak na siya rabies. Actually, that is a myth. That is only suspect maybe because we can only confirm it if naanay result by receiving the positive result coming from the laboratory itself, which is the RADDL. So dili jud ta makaingon na akong iro rabies. That's not true kay makonfirm ra jud ni nato kung patay na si doggy o si Mimi. Okay, next. So this would be the last slide. So I have to include the citation ticket issuance actually because recently actually dili na kayo mi naga-issue except for those owners na positive with rabies ilang ilahang pets, which is confirmed jud. So that is worth 5,000 because what is the reason why nagka-rabies ilahang dog? Because dili sila responsible. So once na confirm ang dog or ang cat with rabies, then we have to issue one of the NDCT Ordinance 2526 stated that once you own then the dog or the cats that are positive with rabies, then there's a penalty already which worth 5,000. So dako jud no. So narabata din hara sa office which is offering rabies vaccine, which is free na siya sa registration. So nag-offer sa tag free house to house rabies vaccination. So there's no excuse for the owner na dili nila isubmit ang ilahang pets for the rabies vaccination. So aside from this, actually wala na ko na post ang sample sa mo ang citation ticket, but maybe if the Paw Pantry Mission is very are interested to conduct a seminar for this, we can conduct if willing mo na mahimong citation ticket issue og citation ticket, then we can deputize you actually. So mag-train magkuan lang ta og mga half day maybe para ma-train mo with this. Kay like abandon na mga dogs or katong mga abuse, actually pwede ta maka-issue ani. But the problem is that the violation or the penalty for the LGU is just dili mo biyan og 5,000. So kung makabayad siya na dinha ra. Whereas kung katudyo mo file mo case actually, so mas dako-dako jud to ibutang nato nakpaakyang dog. But the owner doesn't want to pay the victim the expenses. So actually sa national na balaod or national law, that is 25,000. But here in the LGU, the maximum penalty is minimum is 2,000, maximum is 5,000 lang. If dili nila ma-settle na within 5 days, so we can issue the final warning, additional final warning for that. Then kung dili jud, so we have no choice but to submit the names of the violators to the city legal. So if wala pa jud niya na settle, so that would be ended in end to the regional trial court. So taas jud, actually taas na proseso. So before, that was the last time na we appeared in regional trial court was 2015 ata. So dili ni gusto na moabot actually ana, kay imagine tungod lang sa 150 before ang registration, then mabahiran ang imuhang name sa NBI or sa police clearance tungod lang kay wala nimo na register ang imuhang dog. So sa karon, if walay money ang owner or she could not pay or he could not pay the penalty, so there's an option. She can do or he can do the community service for this. So for the community service, she should provide us a female dogs for the spaying actually. So that included na siya na say she will pay the registration as well as the spay fee. So sa 5 ka dogs. So mo na siya ang community service kung na-issuehan o citation ticket kung mo-opt siya sa community service. So next. So if you have questions or clarifications maybe after this, so actually we have pages in the Facebook, so you can check and visit the Cebu City Government Department of Veterinary Medicine and Fisheries. This page is not only for the Animal Health Division, but all of the divisions sa amo ang office. While Cebu City Animal Care and Control, so this is only exclusive for the Animal Health Division activities and for the incoming activities and for those accomplishments na hatag nato sa mga constituents. So for the contact numbers, so here are the numbers. So we have a landlines, and then the first mobile number is this is a mobile number of Ma'am Ligaya. Then the last is from the number of Miss Marites Tumulak. So if you have any concerns, kung dili mo makatawag og landline, actually pwede ka mo contact ani na mobile number. So thank you for listening, guys. So I hope na katong mga gi-present nako is na kakuan mo na sila ani na service, so mo avail di ay mi ani. So hopefully we can hear your names or makita na ko inyong name sa logbook soon na mo avail ani amo ang service, especially if Cebu City resident ka.
Okay na? So done na ta, Doc?
Oh, na akong duha ay adapted.
Hello, babies.
Nag-away.
Kuan sila ron ka ng LQ. Separate
Ah.
na yun sila. All right. So thank you, kaayo, Doc Jess, for sharing the services that our residents here in Cebu City can avail from your office. So again, guys, the numbers were posted earlier, but just in case you didn't get it, we have telephone numbers 4010418 and 4010419 for landline. And then we also have Madam Ligaya's number 0905-123-7487 and Miss Marita's cell phone number 0968-200-4967. So if na mo yung mga questions, mo tawag lang mo ang mga numbers and they will be able to provide you with all of the information that you need to know about what you can avail of sa ato ang government office. All right. So now we come to the most interesting part, charot, which is the open forum. So for our open forum, okay, Nay nag-send og question sa Facebook, marag wala man sad, no?
Wala.
Okay.
Nasa chat box.
Okay, so sa chat box ako ang i-read ang katong first nga question ganina from from Miss Vanessa. So just para lang sa everyone pod nga nagtan-aw ra sa to ang live sa Facebook. So Miss Vanessa was asking ganina, so if our cats are indoor cats, should they still be kept in a crate overnight? And this was answered by Cha, and she said that it's not necessary that you keep them in the crate overnight, but you just have to make sure that they don't have access to food if they are not contained. Okay, so hopefully everyone takes note of that. Okay, so we have a question for Doc Jess. So, nangutan na si Miss Ivy na what if nag-rent lang and the billing statement is under the pet owner's name? So, unsaon man na nila, Doc? If ingon ana. Doc? Doc Jess?
Mute ka, Doc.
Mute din. Okay. So, hi Miss Ivy, good evening. So, if nag-rent lang ka, actually you can ask what is it? Statement from your landlady or landlord. If it is a condominium, then you can ask a management a certification na nag-stay ka din ha. So, that is a proof already. And then if nag-rent lang sa boarding house, so you can ask actually from your landlady or landlord sa ilahang ID with a certification. So 2 valid IDs from them and or billing statement na nakapangalan sa ilaha. Then a certification from them that you've been renting or your rent with them for how many months or years. So pwede na siya nag-accept niya.
Okay. So the next question is, if mag-opt for a lifetime registration, lifetime ba sad daw ang free anti-rabies vaccination, deworming, and vitamins, Doc?
Yes. So the lifetime, ang perks sa lifetime registration, every year ang anti-rabies. So every year, you don't have to pay for the registration. So nakatipid na ka. So for the deworming schedule for the dogs actually is every quarterly. So 4 times in a year ka mag-deworm. So kana na year, kaupat ka mo adto as long as labi nagdili nimo kay mo dako man jud ang iro na time na mga dagko na labi nag katong mga dagko kay mga weight. So naman jud time na we could not bring them. So pwede na namo mahatag as long as kabalo ka sa timbang. Then just show us your certificate of registration, which is the certification that we will provide once na registered ang imuhang dog or cat as registrant, lifetime registrant. So aside from that is if wala tong certificate of registration, then you can show us the official receipt. So the last option, if wala jud ang certificate of registration and wala sad ang official receipt, then the last option would be the logbook.
Okay. Thank you, Doc. And then we have a question from Fred. So it's not related to spaying and neutering daw, but regarding katong curbside anti-rabies. We weren't given the DVMF or CCACC vaccination certificate since we presented to the staff our dog's own vet card from Lil Paws. And we were told no need for the government back search since they just wrote the details in the card. But only the administration and repeat on dates lang ang nakasuwat ug ang brand Rabisin sa gigamit na vaccine but no signature and Rabisin sticker or even just the batch number and expiration date lang unta. So how do they go about this, Doc?
Basi tungod siguro sa kadaghan sa client, so I have to say sorry for that. So you can go back in the office, then we can fill it up for you.
Okay. So, nag-rescue mi og female puppy, 7 ka buok. Pwede ba mi magpa-spay diha sa Cebu City? Taga Danao City mi.
Actually, we have some partners, NGO partners or mga organization na maka-accommodate especially for those rescuers. So, bago lang jo this afternoon, Joanne Fabe, her friend is willing to sponsor, especially for those stray animals na hopefully ma-partner or hopefully ma-possible na siya. So, yes, maybe maka-avail ka na, but for the office itself na dito dyan sa ato ang regular na schedule, unfortunately, we are only accepting Cebu City pets owned by Cebu City residents, but we can give you some options like cats and dogs matters. So they are accepting outside Cebu City. So maybe you can avail, but maybe the friend of Joanne Fabe, which is she can sponsor the seven Fabe, basing maka-sponsor siya ana. So we can maybe she can consider your 7 puppies.
Okay. So, we have another
also,
question. Okay.
One lang addition, Miss wala siyang name, Vivo, basta 1919. You can message our page. We have a list of low-cost nga mga clinics we compiled from different locations sa Cebu. Dili lang Cebu City, Mandawi, Lapu-Lapu, Visay, North and South. So makahatag minimo og mga info regarding.
All right. So, another question is the microchip, pwede ba daw siya magamit sa lain nga country aside
Yes.
from the Philippines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, our microchip is ISO registered. So that is from Pet Identity. So we were already using that from our clients that are intended for those relocating overseas. So yes, pwede kaya na siya.
Mm-hmm. So, this is the last question that's in here sa atong chat box. So, like, how long does the surgery take? Like, the spaying surgery daw, Doc? And how long will my pet be asleep?
It depends on if it's a cat or dog. So, in addition, it depends as well on the surgeon. So, sa mga Cebu City surgeon, so it's a female cat surgery alone that would take around, sa inyong experience, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So I think maximum of 8 minutes. So 3 to 5 or 3 to 8 minutes. Then for the female, around 10 to 25 minutes.
All right. So, wala tayo laing questions. We also don't have questions from Facebook. So, we will start wrapping up this webinar. But before we do, we have a closing message from our PPM founder, July Gibone. So, take it away, July.
Thank you, Karen. On behalf of Paw Pantry Mission, we would like to thank you for attending our very first PM talk. We would like to extend our appreciation to our guest speakers today, Dr. Jess Maribuhok of the Department of Veterinary Medicine and Fisheries of the Cebu City Government, and our very own fellow member, Cha Esper. The PPM talk, this is just the first of the webinar series that we will be conducting for the rest of the year. So stay tuned for more topics about animal care, animal welfare, and laws. So we will cover that. And please show your support by donating to us for our cause or even following us on Facebook and Instagram. So your support will help us further our mission through our like activities like community pet food drive this coming December. So we will be having that another food drive. We've been doing that twice in a year. And for our PNVR activities in Cebu City, and we're hoping to expand in other cities and Cebu. And for those who want to um magpa-spay and neuter sa kanang city pound or mga events for low cost nga spay and neuter. We also magpa-rent mi sa among mga crates. So you message our page if you want to rent. So kana siya. And we hope that you had fun and you learned something tonight. And we look forward to seeing you in our next PPM talk. Thank you.
Joel.
Oh.
Nay additional questions. Naasay, nag-message siya si Doc Nolly. Doc Nolly is, Doc, pwede ma-share regarding why cat owners have to pay the anesthetic? So, walay nag-question ana, no? Samo na lang tubagon. Okay. Actually, ang na-approve lang na jud na budget namo is gamay ra jud kayo. So, the anesthetic manggod is the reason sad na why the spay neutering exists sa Cebu City because to minimize ang katong mga stray dogs. So, this is a human way, of course, to control the population. So, mostly man sa the positive rabies case positive sa Cebu City are dogs. So mo nang nag-focus mi karon kung moadto mi sa mga barangay using our mobile vehicle, we are offering only free spaying sa dog, free dog spaying. So ang cats actually kung moadto mi sa barangay, dili sa namo gina-accept. Especially katong mga mountain barangays or katong mga masking naa dinhi sa syudad sa sentro mismo. So, if naay mga naka-experience na din basig nakakuan mo nga nang magbayad, why we have to pay the anesthetic drug for our cats? As I said, na nag-focus mi sa dog. Because most of the requested impounded animals are dogs. So, di ba, ang behavior itself sa dog, usahay man jud ma-misinterpret o ma-misunderstood, manang ambak-ambak nila, nagtuon na sila maa. So ang cat manggod is opposite. They are solitary type. So mudagan manggani na labi na sa feral kung duulon. So dili jud sila mo atake. So that's the reason why we are focused on the female dogs, and then why the cats. So actually dogs ra jud ang amo ang preferred. So we are due to the public demand. So, amo na lang gi-accept jud ang cats, but you have to pay the anesthetic drug intended for the cats. So, naasad tay contact na which is mas cheaper. So, instead na mo adto mo sa ilaha, dinha na lang niya ginabilin sa office, then hasta ang receipt. So, para dili na kapoy or dili na kay stress para sa owner niya ang convenience sad. So, dito na lang sila mo pay. So that's the reason why you have to pay for the anesthetic. And then naapay isa, pahabol na question. Ana ako'y dog na spay pero isa ra ka ovary gikuha. Dili na siya mabuntis. So actually ato ang gina-perform sa spay is ovarian hysterectomy or hysterectomy. Hysterectomy buot pasabot is di ba why man na. So mao ni siya ang nadinhi ang katong ovary. So this is the uterus. So ang hysterectomy buot pasabot kanilang uterus ang atong kuhaon. So kung ang isa ka ovary ang iyang gikuha ug ang uterus, so actually dili na siya mabuntis kay wala na may bahay kato ganing puy-anan or asa to magtubo ang wala na may matres. But kung hysterectomy ha, yan na pang ovary. But the problem with that is the female cats or female dogs mo show gyapon o kanang heat gyapon. So sa female dog is dili na sila dugon kay wala naman na wala naman ang mattress. Oo. But nagakuan gyapon sila ang pheromones na agyapon. Kung sa tao pa is ang perfume. So kung naka-experience mo na amoy gidugo or inhit na babae na iro, makabantay mo ana, there are lots of male dogs na nag-wait ana outside sa inyong gate. Kaya nga no, nasimutan man nila ang kahumot or ang pheromone sa inyong female dogs. So kana siya is possible na siya sa way of transmission sa rabies. Labi nagtapok sila then ang nakabantay ang rabid dog na nag-away-away na tong dog, which is they are very sensitive with the sound. So isa na siya sa maka-attract, but kung na-spay na siya, dili na siya maka-attract. But the problem if naay nabili na ovary, yes, na tendency na ma-release gyapon siya sa pheromone. Same as cat, actually. So kung kuan gyapon, kabantay mo sa cat is grabe ka, sana kanang maglambing gani, di ba? Kanang sa tiil, sa yang lawas ibagnos-bagnos. So same sa na siya yung ana gyapon naga-show gyapon siya ana, but dili na siya mabuntis. Kaya wala naman ang matresan. Napabay. Follow-up questions?
Do you have e-collars for purchase on site after the surgery? If this is referring to the low-cost Spay and Neuter event with cats and dogs matter, naa sila booth nga you can purchase e-collars, but if like normal days sa Cebu City pa, no, wala sila e-collars. So motong reiterate lang na kung gusto siya nga if you plan to spay your pets, you have to prepare recovery cage, katong mga kuan para once inikabot sa inyong cat after the spaying and neutering, ready na ang tanan.
All right. So that will be the last question that we will be answering for the night. And again, thank you so much, guys, for attending our very first hashtag PPM talk. So hopefully you will be here for our next episodes and you invite more friends to join us. And if you have additional questions that we weren't able to answer here, you can always message us on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Paw Pantry Mission. Or if you don't have Facebook, Nami IG. So you can also PM us there at Paw Pantry Mission. So thank you, Kyle, guys, and good night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.